Welcome back to Real Stories. Just a quick heads up that this program was created with AI assistance and uses a synthetic narrator. The content was reviewed and approved by Buddy Blake before publication. Information is believed accurate but should be independently verified. This program does not provide legal, tax, lending, or appraisal advice. Today we're hanging out with Buddy Blake, who's going to walk us through something really practical. A fall property readiness checklist for anyone buying or selling near the coast in Wilmington. Buddy, thanks for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me. Fall is actually such a critical time if you're involved in coastal real estate, especially in Wilmington. A lot of people don't realize that the season brings its own set of considerations that can really impact your property, whether you're looking to sell or you're thinking about buying.
Okay, so I'm curious. When you say fall brings its own considerations, what are we really talking about here? Like, what makes fall different from, say, spring or summer?
Well, the big thing is weather preparedness. Fall in Wilmington means we're heading into hurricane season, we've got potential nor'easters, and the salt air and moisture can really start to accelerate wear and tear on a property. So if you're selling, you want to address any vulnerabilities before winter hits. And if you're buying, you need to understand what you're actually getting into with that coastal property.
Right. So it's not just about curb appeal and staging. There's actually structural stuff to think about. What would you say are the top things someone should be checking on their property right now?
Absolutely. So the checklist would include things like inspect your roof and gutters. You want to make sure those are clear and in good shape before heavy rains come. Check your windows and doors for any gaps or deterioration, especially if you're dealing with salt spray damage. Look at your foundation and exterior walls for cracks or water damage. And honestly, if you're near the water like in Carolina Beach or Wrightsville Beach area, you really want to verify your flood insurance situation and understand your property's elevation certificate.
Oh, wow. The elevation certificate. That's something a lot of people probably don't even know exists, right? Why is that so important?
It's huge because it determines your flood insurance rates and requirements. If you're selling, a buyer needs to know this. If you're buying, you need to understand your actual flood risk and what your insurance costs are going to be. We actually have a whole guide on coastal flood and wind insurance that goes into detail on this. You can check the show notes for that link. It's one of those things that can really surprise people if they don't do their homework.
That makes total sense. So beyond the physical property stuff, are there other things someone should be thinking about in the fall if they're buying or selling?
Yeah, so there's the financial side too. If you're selling, you want to understand your closing process, and this is really important in North Carolina. You should know who your closing attorney is going to be before you sign anything. That's something a lot of sellers overlook. If you're buying, fall is a good time to review mortgage options because interest rates can shift, and you want to make sure you're getting the right product for your situation, especially if you're considering a second home versus a primary residence.
Okay, so you mentioned the closing attorney thing. I'm guessing that's more important than people realize?
Oh man, it really is. Different attorneys have different experience with coastal properties, different fee structures, different timelines. You want someone who knows Wilmington real estate inside and out. We've got a whole post on that if you want to dig deeper, links in the show notes. It can literally save you thousands of dollars and a lot of headaches.
That's such good intel. So if someone's listening to this and they're thinking about buying or selling in the fall, what's like the one thing you'd tell them to do first?
Start with a professional inspection if you're buying. Don't skip that. And if you're selling, get ahead of any obvious issues. Have a roofer look at your roof. Have someone check your HVAC system. Make sure your property is actually ready for what the season's going to throw at it. Fall is the time to be proactive, not reactive.
That's really solid advice. Buddy, this has been super helpful. I feel like people are going to walk away from this with a real action plan instead of just being worried about their coastal property. Thanks so much for breaking all this down.
Hey, happy to do it. Coastal real estate doesn't have to be complicated, but you do need to be intentional about it. Fall's the perfect time to get organized.
Awesome. Everybody, thanks for listening to Real Stories. We've got links and resources in the show notes, including Buddy's guides on coastal insurance, closing attorneys, and mortgage options for Wilmington properties. Catch you next time.